Recently, Honorable Supreme Court Justice Sri D.Y. Chandrachud. So I'm not saying from my side. It's not any statement which I'm giving. It is being stated in the open court by Honorable Justice D.Y. Chandrachud in the case of provisional attachment, and it was the case which came up before the Supreme Court in the case of Radha Krishnan Industries Limited. What Honorable Justice has said? He has said provisional attachment provision are draconian in nature. Draconian in nature. Why such statement are coming out? Please tell me. Who is creating such kind of provision? Why such law is not properly being implemented? And let me tell you what was the issue in the Supreme Court judgment where Honorable Justice has made this harsh comment. Issue was, initially, provisional attachment order was issued by local SGST, HP SGST department, Himachal Pradesh SGST department. Provisional attachment, and where provisional attachment is possible, whenever government commissioner, the wording of section 83H, commissioner is of the opinion, see it is all commissioner opinion, is of the opinion to protect the government revenue, he may pass an order for the provisional attachment against the property and bank account of taxable person. What Honorable Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has said, just because there was one provisional attachment order which got vacated sometime in 2019, again for same region, for the same cause, again you are going for provisional attachment. Is it possible? And with the provisional attachment, what is the example you are creating? Commissioner is having the opinion does not mean that he is open-ended. He has to pass speaking order for what region provisional attachment to be done. It should not be kept open-ended that they can attach my property or bank account. This was the conclusion in the Supreme Court judgment which I'm citing to you. Let me give you another Gujarat High Court judgment, and which was in the case of Binod Kumar Murlidhar Chechani case. And even the Honorable Division Bench has said, why such provisional attachment are being used as a mechanical method, as a normal method, whereas provisional attachment power must be used as an exception. You cannot disrupt the business. You cannot create the chaos with the business. If at all you want provisionally attach, you must create a guidelines that under such guidelines, you're going to provisionally attach. Fortunate enough, a circular number 359 dated 23rd of February 2021 got issued. And they have given 6 instances, 6 parameters. Under those parameters, provisional attachment can be done. Listen very carefully, what are those 6 parameters? The first parameter is supply of goods or services without invoice, which is called cash sale. Second, issuance of invoice without supply of goods or services, fake invoice. You are availing credit on such invoice or utilizing such wrongful availed credit. Third, GST collected but fails to pay beyond 3 months from the due date. Fifth, erroneous refund is being taken. And sixth, you are passing on credit to the recipient and commensurating tax is not being deposited with the government exchequer. 6 parameters. But what is important for us to know? this guideline, which is issued by CBIC, by circular number 359, it is saying that the officer first to ensure due diligence, proper checking and verification, and this provisional attachment power should not be used as a mechanical method, ordinary method. If at all need to be attached, first attach the immovable property and then only movable property. But when you're attaching movable property, you should not attach finished goods, raw material, and should not disrupt the business. If business is being stopped and not being allowed to continue, then it is a halt. And that is not envisaged under the provision. So provisional attachment, and just to highlight one more point, with this circular coming out, we are finding every alternate day some of the judgment on provisional attachment. Section 67, search and seizure proceedings initiated. It is going on. You do not know whether there is tax evasion or not. Can you go and provisionally attach? I'm asking all of you, please tell me, search and seizure started. It is still going on. Nothing is being quantified. Can commissioner frame opinion that just because government revenue provisional attachment is possible? To my mind, no way. Please tell me. I want answer from each one of you. Is it possible? To my mind, no way. It is not possible at all. In one of the judgment which is coming from Punjab and Haryana High Court, I'm not citing those judgment. The judgment are there on public domain. Section 67, search and seizure proceedings are over. Once over, can you now provisionally attach? Unless there is any tax liability, how you can provisionally attach my property and my bank account? But these are the broader perspective. Now I'm asking a big question to all of you. Union Budget 2021, this Finance Bill 2021, by Section 115 of Finance Act 2021, I do not know how many of you are aware of with this provision. And be careful, it is most draconian provision and clause which is now being provided under provisional attachment. Provisional attachment of the property and bank account of taxable person. When government want to protect government revenue, this is the one side of the story. But I'm asking each one of you, whether government can provisionally attach property and bank account of any person? Please tell me in a chat box. Is it possible? Say yes and no. Whether they can attach property and bank account of any person. And whatever your answer would be, but let's wake up. Section 115 of Finance Act 2021 has made the provision. They have substituted Section 83 subsection 1, and which is yet to be notified. And what is the substituted provision, you know? Now, provisional attachment can be done against the property and bank account of taxable person and of any person under Section 122 subsection 1A of CGST Act. And what is there under Section 122 subsection 1A? A person who is causing to commit and retaining the benefit of 4 specified offenses. What are those 4 specified offenses? Supply of goods or services without invoice, issuance of invoice without supply of goods or services, ITC wrongly availed or utilized without actual receipt of goods or services, and ITC, ISD, so input tax credit on the basis of ISD, input service distributor, wrongly distributed, 4 offenses. So in in 4 offenses, if any person is engaged and he's causing to commit and retaining the benefit, then provisional attachment can be done even against the property and bank account of such person engaged in those 4 specified offenses. Just look at the white power, and this provision, section 83 subsection 1, going to be substituted. And just to give more alarm to you, more alarm, earlier section 83 was applicable for specified section 62, 63, 64, 67, 73 and 74. But now this section 83 going to be applicable for whole chapter 12, chapter 14 and chapter 15. Even provisional assessment, even scrutiny of return can be a criteria for the provisional attachment. Such a wide power in the hands of officers, and that too when they are saying commissioner is of the opinion, I'm just drawing, there should be compensation for any illegal action, either search, seizure, or preventive detention or provisional attachment. If government is willing to protect government revenue by undertaking search, seizure, arrest, preventive detention, or provisional attachment, I want counter responsibility. You tell me, I'm asking all of you. I want counter responsibility. There should be compensation wherever there is illegal search, wherever there is illegal detention, wherever illegal provisional attachment. Is it not correct? Just because we leave it for the region to believe, just because we leave it is of the opinion? No way, no way, no way. There has to be counter accountability and responsibility. Yes, these provisions are meant to check tax evasion, but in the name of checking the tax evasion, it should not turn out to be harassment to the honest taxpayer. Do you all agree with me? That's what I'm saying. Tell me yes or no in a chat box. Do you all agree or not agree? To my mind, yes, there has to be. There has to be. Just because we are watching the provision, we are reading the provision, these provisions are meant only to see the tax evasion against the tax evader. It should not be used as a normal means to harass the honest taxpayer. Should not be a case. Coming to the last component, and then we can have question answers. We got all learned speakers sitting as of now. Last, recovery proceedings. Is it possible without issuance of so-called notice and without adjudication thereof? I will not take much time, but I will cite one section 78. Go back to section 78. You may check this provision of section 78, which say initiation of recovery proceedings is possible, no problem, possible only after 3 months from the date of service of the order. What is the meaning of this provision? There has to be so-called notice, there has to be order, and there has to be minimum 3 months time period given to the taxpayer for payment of liability. Only after 3 months there can be initiation of recovery proceedings. Recovery can be done. Even so-called notice has not been issued. Even adjudication is not being done. And during search and seizure, they are collecting the money. Is it tax amount? Is it advance tax? To my mind, they are not empowered to collect single penny. Why we should pay such liability, and why statements are being taken under duress and coercion? My only submission. And I said one Madras High Court judgment, any money collected during search and seizure, and when taxpayer is providing all the information to you, you as a department cannot collect. cannot collect that amount. And that Madras High Court judgment of Sri Nandi Dhal Mills Company Limited, it is being ordered whatever money they have collected must be refunded to the taxpayer. So I'm only saying as a submission part, recovery is not possible until so-called notice is being issued, until order is being passed, until 3 months elapsed. Provision of the act is saying so. I'm not saying out of the corner. So recovery just initiated can't be possible. Garnishing provision cannot be, I'm saying, is ultra vires if I look at the provision of the act. But nevertheless, this is what I'm citing all before you. We are just closing. I wanted to give 3-4 judgment for the recovery proceedings, but time is the pause. So I need to sum up my pointer on provisional attachment and recovery proceedings. So today we have tried with all my 3 learned speakers to give a flavor. What is this search, seizure, arrest, provisional attachment, parallel proceedings, bailable offenses and non-bailable offenses.